What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the Anime Plus podcast. This is your podcast for everything anime and anime related. And today's episode is another news edition episode where we're going over this week's anime news, sometimes manga and entertainment. But with that being said, we got our boy Owen back, bro. Owen, my co-host, my boy, my homie, bro. How you doing?
Doing good, bro. Doing good. Could be doing better. Stomach is seeing better, has seen better days, but like chilling, chilling for the most part.
Bro, the people miss you, my guy, man.
Bro, I miss the people, bro. We're back. We're back at it again.
That's what we like to hear, bro. My man.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
All right, bro. Owen, you know how we always start off with like a crazy story or like a weird twist or weird collaboration?
Yeah.
Feel like this one's kind of random. So for our first story for today, you know Ufotable?
Now what is that?
So Ufotable is the studio behind Demon Slayer.
Okay. Okay.
So what they're doing is with all the money that they got from ripping off Demon Slayer fans from the movie, not play, I'm just play. But what they're actually doing is they're opening up a mocktail bar featuring Demon Slayer in Tokyo's we'll call it the rich district, Ginza district. So they're opening up a mocktail bar there.
Okay. Damn, bro. A Demon Slayer themed bar? Damn.
Bro, it's actually kind of hard too, because like, firstly, bro, me and you, we don't be drinking like that, bro. So a mocktail bar is fire, so anyone can really go. Like you don't have to be like,
Oh, it's a mocktail bar. Okay. Yeah, because I was about to say, like, wait, Demon Slayer's audience is all like pretty young. Most of them probably can't drink anyways.
right,
Since
this,
it's a mocktail bar, it all works out.
yeah, it's like 1,000 IQ play right here, bro.
Literally. Yeah, I was about to say, why didn't they pivot to like a restaurant or like a cafe or something like that? Since their audience is young, but if it's a mocktail bar, it all makes sense.
Right, sick, bro. It's kind of crazy too if you think about it, because it's like this is an animation studio creating a mocktail bar. Like, I don't know what other animation studio has done something like this, but I think it's pretty cool.
No, that's it. First of all, it's sick. Second of all, I kind of want to see what drinks they got.
All right, I'm assuming it's all Demon Slayer themed. It hasn't opened yet. They did have like a pre-opening video, but they haven't really came out fully yet. But either way, like they did post like a bunch of like Demon Slayer characters in their attire, like bar attire and stuff like that. So I'm assuming it's gonna be Demon Slayer themed.
Bro, we gotta hit that when we go to Japan, low key.
Yo, facts, bro. I'm down.
Facts.
Yo, speaking of Japan, bro, we just had the boy Luke on, and we talked about Japan there, bro. The other thing that you missed last week in the news episode was, bro, One Piece is collabing with another sports team,
Oh shit, well, what sports team?
Seattle Mariners. They're a baseball team.
Bro, One Piece loves baseball.
Bro, I mean, in Japan, baseball is huge, so that definitely makes sense.
Oh, okay. That does make sense. It makes a lot of sense. I was gonna say that they love I feel like they love basketball and they love baseball. The
Yeah,
two.
yeah. Those are the two biggest sports that I've seen in Japan.
Okay.
Yeah, other than that, I think you missed the Nintendo Switch 2 release date and update and all that stuff.
They're like switch they're not they're delaying it or something?
Not just that, we got a release date, we got information about the console, the price, and things like that. I feel like we could talk about that in another episode, but
Okay.
see,
I know because of this whole tariff situation, they're
yeah.
trying to delay it a little bit.
Hmm.
We'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we'll talk about that more later on. But
Yep.
yeah, let's get into the next piece of news.
Let's get it.
All right, bro. So I love this type of article because it gives us like a lot of information about not only manga but the industry in general. So we got a list of the biggest first printings from three major manga publishing companies, Kodansha, Shogakukan, and Shueisha. So what we get from here is we get the title of the anime or manga, or I guess the manga in this case. We get the number the volume is, and then how many copies were printed for its first print release. So it
Okay.
kind of gives us the insight of what the biggest manga is that gets printed for each of these companies.
So each singular chapter, which one
Oh,
is
yeah. So we'll start with this one, Kodansha, right? Their biggest title with the highest number of first prints is That Time I Got Reincarnated
what's
as.
the first print? What do you mean?
It means like the first time they printed out that specific volume. Because like think about it this way. If, for example, like a series ends, you're gonna have a higher print on the first volume. And then this is like the first time they print it. And if that gets sold out, they'll print more. That's usually the way it goes.
I heard you. So, but these first prints are based on prediction of like how much they're gonna sell.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, get you.
So we can start off with Kodansha. Some of the notable ones are that time it got reincarnated as a slime. This was volume 26 and it had 450,000 copies for its first print.
Damn, holy shit. Slime is pretty insane, no?
And then we got Blue Lock right behind it with 400,000.
So volume is like chapter number?
No, volume is the volume number. Each volume has about roughly 10 to 13 chapters.
Okay, that's like a season.
Uh, no, I'd say a volume is more so like a couple of episodes.
Couple episodes just grouped together per
Yeah.
se. Gotcha. Okay. Do we know what happens in that Blue Lock volume 29?
I can tell you because this is in the manga, so I ain't trying to spoil it for you.
Ah,
But
gotcha. Okay.
yeah, but that's for Kodansha. Next up, we got Shogakukan. Free Aaron topped the list for this one at it's 14 volume with 700,000. So it
Free
be
Aaron? Or are we saying that wrong?
oh yeah, free render. Yeah, you're right. My bad.
Bro, we was saying that shit wrong for like a whole year or more.
Yeah,
Literally. Free run. Okay.
free render.
Guys don't kill us. Holy shit.
My bad.
Detective Conan is on that list.
Yeah, we got some good ones. Awashi, personally love that one. Waiting for an anime second season for that. But yeah, 700,000 is almost double what Blue Lock did. So shout outs to them.
Sheesh, bro.
But
The
bro,
third is the third ranking did as good as the first for Kodansha.
right. But this is where I'm gonna blow your mind. Ready on?
Yup.
Shueisha, bro. This is like the company that oversees Shonen Jump. Bro, One Piece Volume 109, 3.2 million copies for its first print release.
What's volume? I have to see what volume 109 is.
This is 109.
Let me see what One Piece volume 109 is.
Yeah, we can look at the cover title and you'll be able to gauge it kind of what it is. Unless you haven't read that part of the manga. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You haven't got there in the anime yet.
Oh, I haven't. Yeah, I
But
see
it's
it.
actually about to come out soon, so that part is actually really good. So there's a reason for that.
Bro, this is pretty. It's pretty close to where we're at.
Yeah. It'll probably be adapted in the next month or so.
God damn, we're about to get some heat then in One Piece.
Yes, sir. So that is on top with 3.2. And keep in mind, 450 was the highest, 450,000 for Kodansha, 700,000 for Shogakukan, and 3.2 million for Shueisha. And it's not just One Piece. JJK is right behind with 1.8 and 1.8 for volumes 29 and 30. Each of them did 1.8. So like even those numbers blow out the numbers from the other two manga publishing companies.
That's insane, bro. 3.2 mil,
Nuts, right?
literally.
But yeah, those are just some cool numbers to look at. It doesn't really necessarily mean anything, but it's just kind of cool to see. All right.
All I know is One Piece on top.
One Piece is going crazy, bro. I actually saw something recently, and I might have to fact check this, but Oda is now the fifth or fourth highest selling author in entire history.
Holy shit, bro.
And I mean, series is not done. The manga is like the volumes are still selling. So you never know, bro. He could write another story for all we know too. So like number one was like Shakespeare or some shit like that. So
Yeah, like
dudes that are been around for hundreds of years and he's still in his prime.
all I know is One Piece is just a different level of yeah, bro. I've been watching. I we just finished. Marineford is officially finished.
So
Luffy just went back to Marineford to let his comrades know. 2Y, 2D, X, or 3D, X, 2Y. That's
okay.
crazy, bro.
How's she liking it?
Oh, this part was dummy sad, I can't lie.
Yeah.
We're Yeah, if you know, you know. It's not be sad. And like when I rewatched it, like I saw how they pieced everything together. They actually pieced his backstory so well to what was going on. Like it was actually such good piecing. And honestly, it felt longer when I watched it the first time. Yeah.
Damn, bro. All right. I mean, that's kind of cool when you rewatch because like I've been obviously I've been rewatching too. There's so many small little details that I missed. I'm like, oh shit, that makes so much sense.
Bro, I forgot that they talk about Vegapunk um during Frankie's little, like Frankie stayed on that island.
Yeah.
I just completely forgot about like Vegapunk. Like I remember them talking about Vegapunk for like a little bit.
Hmm.
They go pretty in depth on like what they say about him.
Yeah, they do a little bit for him, and once you get to Punk Hazard, they do it too. And I'm like, oh shit, bro. And now that we're on the anime, we actually get to see Vegapunk.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, this shit's about to be crazy, bro.
Yeah. Uh, do you want an update of where we are?
Yeah, where you guys at?
Bro, we're at Dressrosa, bro.
Sheesh, you guys are moving.
I'm not trying to spoil, but for everyone that's listening, but I just got to the part where a certain character is shown for the first time.
You guys are moving. I know
Bro.
who you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
These eyes came out of his freaking skull.
Yeah, we're right there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Damn, bro. That shit's mad hype. I can't lie.
All right, let's move on to the next one.
Yep.
All right, bro. This one's kind of a weird story too. So this is between two different anime convention companies, if that's what you want to call them, two different cons. So we have Ohayocon and we have Sekaicon. One of them is suing the other, supposedly for a bunch of different things. This case is still ongoing. There is a settlement potential to be had, but this one's kind of crazy, bro.
Wait, so why are they suing each other? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, so one of the companies had like a major rechange in staff, organizational change and stuff like that. And amidst all of that, one of the workers, supposedly one of the top officials or higher ranking members, left that company and took trade secrets and stuff like that with them to the other convention
Yeah.
company.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so they leaked the confidential information, trade secrets, stuff like that. So one of these cons is suing the other cons for that.
Some NDA type shit?
I'm assuming, yeah.
Yeah, bro. That's actually insane.
Yeah, so it's first of all, this is a crazy story, but not only that, they were both told that they're not allowed to like keep talking about this in public because I guess it got really ugly.
God damn, bro. I did not expect that.
Yeah, I didn't know there was this this much drama behind some of these conventions, bro.
Like, what type of information can they really be bringing them?
I know, right? Like I'm sure you're allowed to like create your own convention, but there must be something that they were doing that they might like I don't really know if you can patent this type of stuff, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
trade secrets are trade secrets. So
Maybe it's like who they were inviting and stuff like that.
yeah, potentially.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, that's insane, bro. People are always trying to, you know, take from one source, bring it to another. But
At the end of the day, like us anime fans, we just want to pop out to an event and just, have fun, bro. Like we don't really care about all this drama, but if two of the biggest cons that we enjoy are being taken off the face of this planet because of something like this, bro, it's kind of crazy, bro.
talking about popping out to an event, boys, we are about to pop out to the event in Boston, the anime
Yeah.
event in Boston.
Anime Boston, bro. May 23rd to May 25th, bro.
So if you guys are, in the area or you guys are planning to, stop by, we'll be there. You definitely just communicate with us on Discord and we'll definitely meet up with you guys. But it's looking like, you know, it's about to be lit. Anime Boston?
Bro, it's my first con, bro. We about to go crazy.
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah.
I got the glasses, bro, and everything, bro. Content about to be crazy.
Oh, you got the Ray-Bans?
Sir,
Sir, I'll bring the Ray-Bans too. Then we'll get double content.
that shit about to be fun, bro. I'm down.
Shit is about to be lit. I need to get contacts, bro. or some
Oh yeah, me too, bro. I can't. You're right, bro. I won't be able to see.
I can't see shit, bro. When I was in Guatemala, like I didn't wear like Ray-Ban glasses because I couldn't see shit. So, my cousin who had contacts, he was wearing it the whole time, basically.
Crazy, bro.
Yeah,
We gotta figure this out, bro.
we're gonna have to just be blind for a little bit.
Either be blind or we gotta double up, bro.
Yeah, my glasses are already freaking huge, bro. I think my original glasses are like bigger than the Ray-Bans.
That's funny, bro. All right, let's move on to the next one.
Yo,
All right, so for this award, the annual Kodansha Manga Awards, this is the 49th annual one. They just announced the nominees and they'll announce the winners on May 12th. But for the at the very least, we do have some of the nominees, and some of these are pretty notable. So we have three categories: Best Shonen, Best Shoujo, and Best General. So last year's winners were like Free Ren that won the Best Shonen. We've had winners like Tokyo Revengers, Attack on Titan, and anime manga like that that have now turned into anime. So this year's nominees we have for Best Shonen we have Windbreaker, Kagura Bachi. And I'm just reading off the notable ones. And then for Best General we also have Under Ninja and History. So some of those are pretty popular. Not all of these have anime adaptations. I know Windbreaker season 2 just came out, so it's just something to keep an eye on out on.
well, I need to start watching Windbreaker season 2. Damn,
This shit started off fire though.
sheesh. Okay, I've been addicted to Haikyuu. I'm about to finish it soon.
Let's go.
Just watched the third season. They're on to the nationals.
Let's
Shit's
go.
hectic, bro.
I'm hyped for you, bro.
Shit is hectic, bro. My boy Hinata is actually growing wings type shit.
What we like to hear, bro.
Hell yeah. But I think in this, like I haven't read Kagura, but just based on the hype that it garnered, I think that might be my choice. Even though I haven't watched it. If it's something I've watched, the only one I've watched here is Windbreaker, so and that shows gas.
Yeah.
But based on like the manga itself, what would you say?
Of Kagurabachi?
Yeah.
I mean, I've only read the first five or so chapters, but I've seen the nonstop hype behind it. So I could see that winning, but also with Windbreaker's anime coinciding with the voting for this, I could see the hype for that helping it win Best Shonen.
Yeah, I could too, for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, again, we'll let you guys know who wins on May 12th when they do announce the winners, which is a month from now. We also have the Crunchyroll Awards, the nominees for that, so you can vote on that too, Owen. I know you weren't here for last week's episode, but that was announced too. So I mean, you can vote for that if you want. But yeah, let's move on to the next one.
Yo,
All right. This one is just like a small little note. Do you remember how we did the episode where we talked about like all the new manga that was on the Weekly Shonen Jump?
yeah.
So this one right here is actually already ending. It's called Deep Rapita, and this kind of just goes to show you that like a manga can be cut just like that. We were just talking about a couple weeks ago about how, oh, this is a brand new manga, it might be good, da 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 da, and now all of a sudden it's getting cut. It's done already.
We know why.
It probably just didn't sell as well as they hoped it to.
How long has it been?
Dude, less than a year, less than half a year probably.
Yeesh, bro. It sucks to see it, but cold world.
Yeah, this was I don't know if you remember, but this one was about the AI and him and the main character got close through playing video games.
The AI, bro.
Bro caught feelings with the AI. So
The
that was his story.
original Plankton.
That's crazy. But yeah,
Plankton has been messing with AI since we've been kids, bro.
that's a wild statement.
Karen is an AI. What you mean?
You're right.
Karen's AI. Plankton got no friends. His friend, his wife is. I don't know what he be doing, bro. That's all I'm gonna say.
Let's go on to the next one.
We're about to see USB-Cs come out. 9 months.
Yo.
What the fuck? I'll get on to the next one, bro.
All right, this one, bro, I am super hyped for it. Eternity. The anime is getting a third season and it's premiering in October, bro.
Third season?
Third season of 2 Year Eternity. Yes, sir.
Have you watched any of this?
I've watched the first two seasons. I didn't finish the second season, so this is perfect timing to actually catch up and finish that second season before the third season. But I love this story, bro. This is probably one of my favorite stories, plot wise, in all of anime. Not only that, but it had some of the banger first 4 or 5 episodes in all of anime. It's really good.
So what's it about?
It's basically about this orb that's immortal and it was dropped into the world. And that orb obviously has no stock feelings, nothing. It's just like an orb. And then as it like sees and interacts with like either whether it's like a human, animal, or whatever, when I can't even talk. When it reacts with it, it kind of takes its form and shape. So it starts to become more and more human as time goes on. And it kind of not only takes place in like ancient times, but like it moves with the time. So you can see the progression. I'm not trying to spoil it, but you can see from the promotional picture what it looks like in the background. It looks like probably the streets of Japan or the streets of Tokyo.
Yeah. Yeah.
So where
Okay.
we are in the first season, like we're still on like bows and arrows type shit. So
Oh damn. If it upgraded that much?
yeah.
Sheesh. Okay. And when does it come out?
Third season comes out in October of this year.
Damn, if you guys, haven't caught up yet, definitely catch up soon. And if you guys are caught up, definitely stay tuned for October. It looks sick though. It's
It's
an anime?
awesome. What's up?
It's an anime, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I need to watch this. Okay.
First season was one of the best seasons I've ever watched.
Of an anime?
It's great.
Holy shit, bro. Okay. I mean, you've always been putting me on to Heat, so like I'll trust you on this one.
Appreciate you.
Get it.
All right, let's move on to the next one.
Yep.
Yo, are you a Devil May Cry fan?
No, I'm not, but I've heard of it before.
Okay, so firstly, we're getting a second season that's coming out very soon. The first season came out, I believe, back in the day. I want to say it was 2021. Rather, no, 2000 and damn, bro, this shit came all the way back in 2007. That's crazy. So first season came out in 2007. We're finally getting a second season. And not only is this anime like popping off on Netflix and whatnot, it's actually based off of a video game.
Yeah, so I've heard about this anime for like a very, very, very long time.
Mhm.
It was a game, right? Before?
Yeah, originally game by Capcom.
Yeah, exactly. This is something I do gotta watch. Have you watched it?
I haven't, bro, and I know so many people are talking about it, but it's one of those things that like I don't know, man. Like a lot of games that are turned into anime, like I know they're so good, like Cyberpunk. There's a couple other ones, Arcane, but like I've just never gotten into them for some reason.
Yeah, me either. I've never done the whole gaming. Yeah, it's just never been a thing for me. But I don't know, maybe it's something we gotta give a try, bro.
Yeah, yeah. This one definitely has so much hype behind it, so keep an eye out on it.
Bro, I've heard of this anime slash game before I even started watching anime. So like,
Same here. All right, let's move on to the next one.
yep.
All right, so another season that's getting us, or another show that's getting a second season is Makine Too Many Losing Heroines. So this one was actually airing in the last anime season, and now we're finally getting a second season for it.
What does that even mean? Losing too many heroines?
I can read the synopsis if you want.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Plain, boring, and friendless Nokomizu Kazuhiko has witnessed something completely baffling. Popular girl Yanami Anna was friend zoned by her childhood friend and crush. In fact, all the popular girls around him are getting similarly rejected by all the boys they like. Without realizing it, Kazuhiko, it's the main character, becomes entangled in the relationship drama where all the leading heroines are losing out on love. Can he keep their spirits up?
Uh,
So basically, all these girls are getting rejected and
Ooh,
down bad, and they're coming to him for advice and like telling him what's going on.
be like that.
Yeah, you see this boy right here, he's struggling, and I guess all of these girls right here are getting rejected and coming to him.
My boy. My,
Bro,
sublime man right there, bro. My boy is chilling.
bro has the potential to become the ultimate rebound, which might not be a good thing, bro.
Ultimate what? Oh, rebound. Ah, okay, 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 okay. No, it depends on how he, how he overcomes the situation right now. Either
Yeah.
he becomes the biggest player in the school, or he becomes the biggest rebound. It's all up to him, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
something I probably wouldn't watch, but it does seem pretty interesting, not gonna lie.
for sure, for sure. Let's move on to the next one. All right, bro. So My Happy Marriage, we were talking about this anime a couple of weeks ago, how the last two episodes were actually delayed. So it finally finished off. And while it finished off the second season, it announced a future anime production or future anime project. It didn't necessarily announce that it's the third season, but it just said future anime project, which could be an OVA, it could be a movie, it could be a third season. We don't really know, but it's just something to keep an eye on because this series has been very popular, not only on Crunchyroll, but it's on Netflix too.
Finally, bro. I mean, it's on Netflix too, which is always a good thing. What season?
This is season two that just ended, so it could be a potential third or a movie. We don't really know yet.
Have you watched?
I haven't watched it, but everyone in our Discord has been saying it's really good. It's kind of like a Cinderella story.
Oh shit. Do we know what like it's about fully?
Yeah, so it's about like this girl that was kind of semi-abused, and the stepmother comes in, is kind of a dick to her, gets her married off, and the dude turns out to be a really good dude. So very Cinderella-esque story.
Damn, okay. Probably something I wouldn't watch, but yeah.
Yeah, I can tell you just straight up that I haven't watched this yet, but everyone in our Discord is actually enjoying the series.
Oh yeah. Okay, and if you guys are into, I'm assuming this is romance,
Yeah,
definitely go watch this.
sir. All right, let's move on to the next one. All right, so for this segment, we're going to be talking about a new series that is getting adapted from a novel to a TV anime. This one's kind of cool. So the author that created Violet Evergarden has actually created this series too. It's called Agents of the Four Seasons.
Okay. Do you have any synopsis on this one?
Yeah. So once upon a time, there was winter. Winter was once the only season in the world, but such an existence was too lonely to bear, and so it created spring to love. Before long, the earth wished for more time to rest in the cycle, and summer and autumn were born. The ones who carry the cycle are called the agents of the four seasons. Hinagiku, the agent of spring, disappeared from the land 10 years ago, taking the season of spring with her. Now, after incredible hardship, she has returned to restore the cycle to its proper state, and as in the myth passed down since the dawn of time, she sends her love to winter.
So they live in a only winterland, pretty much?
Yeah, until the other seasons are created. Have you ever watched or read Violet Evergarden?
No, I haven't.
So that series in particular has some really crazy story writing in terms of like depth and emotion, making the watcher like really feel emotions. So I can only assume that this is that type of story as well because it's the same author.
Is it something you'd watch or not?
I will actually just watch Violet Evergarden, bro, and like that shit was low key deep, bro. That shit had me shook.
Oh
So
shit.
the shot just purely because it's the same author, but if it wasn't, I would probably not give it a shot.
Okay. Yeah. I
But it
mean,
is, so I might.
if you're really recommending it, bro, I might have to watch it.
Oh, pause. I'm not recommending it. I'll just say I might give. I
Wait,
will
why do you take that back so quickly?
nah, because I don't know, bro. Like this is not something that I would do. I'm literally just giving it a shot because it's the author of Violet Evergarden.
Heard you, bet. I mean, when is it coming out?
They haven't announced it yet.
Okay. Definitely gonna, keep you guys up to date on this for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's also done by Studio Wit, so that's type hype.
What else has Studio Wit? What other anime has Studio Wit done?
Done Attack on Titan. They've done Spy Family. They've done a couple other ones too.
Attack on Titan?
Yeah.
Attack on Titan has just
I
very unique anime.
part before Mappa, before the last few seasons.
What's up?
So remember how they switched studios midway to Mappa?
Yeah.
This was before then.
I feel like their animation style is just different, you know? But
All
yeah,
right.
let's get into the next one.
All right, so this one's really hype. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. They just had an event today called Jojo Day, which was literally Saturday in Japan. So it's literally a couple hours ago as of recording this. They announced part seven is getting an anime. It's called Steel Ball Run. The anime is actually already in production. We just don't know when it's coming out per se, but I ain't gonna lie, bro. Part seven of JoJo's is kind of crazy, bro.
I need to watch. I fell off after part five, I think.
Yeah, I fell off after part six. I gotta get back into it.
I gotta get back into it too. There was one that wasn't like it wasn't. I forgot why I stopped, but it wasn't like JoJo's. I don't know. It was weird.
There was one where I think her name was Jolene, and it was like his granddaughter. I think that's where I kind of fell off.
I didn't get to that one. I think it was the one before that, where there wasn't that much story to it. They were just in a town, and I remember there was one episode with this manga guy.
Dude, that might have been. I think that might have been filler, bro.
That's probably fucking why, bro.
It could be because I know there's like a spin-off with like that author.
I'm just like, bro, what is this bullshit? Because like, there was no Dio, there was no like, you
Mhm.
know, there
That
was
might have been, bro.
there was no main antagonist, and I was just like, bro, I'm trying to have like a Dio type of fight, stands or some type of like Hamon. There was none of that shit.
Nah, because I remember the part before Stone Ocean, which is part six, was a fire, bro. So I was like, what are you talking about? I believe that one was the one in Italy, bro. Part five, if I'm not wrong. That shit was fire, bro.
Yeah, I gotta go and rewatch that shit for sure.
Yeah, so this one's kind of cool too. So this one looks like it's based in America. I can read the synopsis for you real quick if you want.
Yeah.
All right. Riders from around the world gather in the Wild West for the race of the century. Johnny Joestar, a former jockey paralyzed from the waist down, comes to spectate and momentarily regains the ability to walk while watching a duel fought by Gyro Zappelli. Desperate to learn more about his power, Johnny joins the race alongside Gyro and embarks on the most epic and bizarre race to even ever cross the American frontier.
Yeah, okay.
So I think now we got like a oh an American version of the JoJo fan, bro. You know, our dude got the cowboy hat, he got the long blonde hair, bro. You know, this shit kind of fire, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Wait, he's paralyzed from the waist down?
Yeah, until something happened, looks like he could walk in.
Yeah, look, so that person up there, that's the blonde hair dude, is him, I'm assuming?
Yeah, him right here too.
Yeah, so it doesn't look like he's really, you know?
Yeah, he's riding a horse on this picture that they pushed out.
Yeah, doesn't really seem like he's paralyzed too much. Let's see what happens though, you know?
Yeah, I bro, it's kind of crazy though. We got an American version now.
That's insane. Southern cowboy version?
Bro, that's what I was saying, bro. That shit moving, bro.
I'm definitely catching up now for sure.
I'm hyped. All right, let's move on to the next one. All right, so this is another manga turning into an anime adaptation. It's called Tenkaichi, the greatest warrior under the sun, under the rising sun.
Okay, I mean this looks sick.
Yeah,
This
I'll read the synopsis, but this shit looks fire, bro.
looks sick.
All right. This is not history as we know it. The year is 1600. 10 years have passed since Oda Nobunaga unified the whole of Japan. When Nobunaga realizes he's nearing the end of his life, he announces that he will hand over the reins of power to whoever brings him the strongest warrior. The generals whose dreams of conquering the country had been crushed put up their own strongest warriors and aim to become the king of the country. The first match is peerless spear wielder Honda Tadakatsu versus evolving prodigy Miyamoto Musashi. So it looks like a battle fight straight up, bro.
My type of shit, yo.
That's what we like, bro. Yo, bro, Tenkaichi, bro. I feel like that word is utilized for fighting. So like the Tenkaichi Budokai, you ever play that Dragon Ball Z game where they're in that tournament and they just fight straight up?
Nah. Tenkaichi it was called though? Let me see what that means in Japanese.
Yeah. So from what I know, there's that Tekken, which I don't know if it's based off the same word, but it might be, bro. But as far as I know, every time I've seen Tenkaichi,
Tournament.
what does it mean?
Maybe it means tournament.
Yeah, it probably might be tournament. I was going to say every time I've seen that word, there's been like a fighting tournament.
Tenkaichi in English translates to strongest under the heavens.
Shit, bro. That's type fire, bro.
Is a battle tournament created by Oda Nobunaga.
This dude just butchered the hell. No Wanaga, my guy.
Nobunaga.
It's- That,
Nobunga? Nobunga?
that actually makes sense, bro. Because like Oda Nobunaga is the dude, like he's like a, I don't know if he was a general or whatever, but he unified Japan. Like this is actually real history. So
Wait,
he,
this is legitimate?
yeah, that this first part is legitimate.
Hold on, bro. Wait, what? Hold on.
Yeah.
Japanese.
Just look up Oda Nobunaga.
How do you spell it? Ten what?
Tenkaichi.
Yeah, how do you spell it? Ten Kai.
10
Yeah.
Kaiichi.
Jeez. The hell? Best on earth. It's the strongest, basically.
Yeah, essentially.
Ten Kai. Tenkaichi. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I wrote that. We should be good. Yeah. It means best on earth.
Mhm.
Yeah. Probably just means in this sense, like who's the strongest in the world.
Gotcha. Yeah, but he's historically known for uh essentially consolidating all the power in Japan to like one clan or one group of people.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, it's
What do
like
you think, bro?
yeah, I don't know. This one looks like some shit I would watch, bro. Like straight up fighting, bro.
100%, bro.
What was that?
100% we're watching this shit.
Let's move on to the next one.
And if the animation's sick, it's just gonna put the cherry on the top.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the promotional picture looks fire, bro. Like, it's two dudes clashing with swords or daggers. Looks sick.
It looks like Lucci on the right.
A little bit. I see a little bit.
And like that pink hair. I don't know. It just looks like some demon. They both look strong as shit though.
All right, let's move on to the last and final story for today. What we got for today is this story is getting adapted into an animation film. It's called The Camperwood Custodian, and that's coming out in 2026. So I'll read the synopsis and you let me know what you think.
Yeah.
The novel story centers on Raito, a young man who was unreasonably fired from his job and in revenge has committed a crime and gets arrested. He tries to appeal to the investigator to no avail, and he is sent to the prosecutor's office where he waits for his indictment. Suddenly, a lawyer appears and tells Raito that he can be released if he follows his client's orders. Raito takes a gamble and accepts the condition, and the client turns out to be his late mother's half sister, Yanagisawa. Senshu has only one order for Raito to become the Camper Tree Custodian at Tsukigo Shrine. Raito becomes a Camperwood Tree Custodian and meets different people who visit the temple grounds for different reasons.
Okay. I don't know. I feel like that was kind of all over the place. In
Yeah,
terms,
he gets fired. He starts doing some crime to get back at it, and now his lawyer's like, "All right, bro, you gotta guard this tree, bro." And then there's probably something wrong with that tree, like some wild shit.
but wait, his lawyer's his mom's sister.
Absolutely,
That's actually kind of crazy.
right?
I don't know. It seems a bit weird. It seems historical. It seems maybe like something I'd watch if it has a lot of fighting.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it's one of those like haunted trees, or because it says at the end like he visits like all different types of people. So I can only assume that like bro is going through it while he has to guard the street. Like it's a film, so I can only assume that's gonna be something crazy.
I think probably not something I'd watch realistically.
Yeah, me too, but we'll just have to wait and see because I've been getting convinced, bro. If somebody tells me some shit's fire, bro, I'll be with
Yeah, 100%. You let me know if it's fire.
I got you, bro. All right, I think that's gonna be it for this episode. Firstly, welcome back on, bro. I missed you, my guy.
Appreciate you, my dog. I miss y'all.
Yes,
I miss
sir.
you. I miss y'all. I miss the gang, bro.
Yes, sir. All right, but with that being said, I think that's gonna be it for this episode. Again, all links will be in the description as well as a link to our Discord. So make sure y'all pop in. We have some cool and fun conversations. So hop in, we'll talk there. And with that being said, that's going to be it for this episode. And until next time, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great week. Peace.
Peace.